I didn't think you'd been through all that, and here you are just now sharing a bit of your story. Damn, this is so enriching, disturbing. Let's call it what it is. I'm not judging the story. You just basically told us. But how the authorities handle things, seven, they're doped up, strung out on all kinds of shit. And those tolerance zones where they let people sell illegal drugs, we all know they exist because of corruption worldwide. This shit's never gonna end. You can't fix it by censoring the news or the media. The only way is prevention, using what we've always had even before technology eats us alive. Oral tradition taught us. That's why podcasts or chats like this, where two people sit face to face with mics, it's so hard. You can tell when someone's keeping it real, when they're raw, unfiltered, not hiding behind a blanket of lies. And you, man, you say things straight up, literally. That's crucial these days, with all the confusion. Kids are getting violent young, hooked on drugs, ending up in jail, psyche, ward stealing nonstop. The ones who want to turn into bigger criminals do it in juvie, correctional centers, youth prisons, that's what I mean. They say in a violent world, you gotta speak the truth. But hey, bro, I finally grabbed some time to chat here. I like to keep it short, you know. I don't interrupt my guests, much 'cause I know it kills the vibe, the flow. It'll jump in only when you pause, or if I need to make a sharp point. This is about listening. We ain't here to cut you off. Keep telling us what happened next with that traitor, how your addiction kept going. I get that during this phase. You hadn't even started college yet, still in high school, third year. So, I bet there were a lot of changes inside you. More experiences, good, bad, fun, fucked up. How was the transition from high school to college? 'Cause mixing brain development with drug use. Science shows it reshapes your brain, the whole encephalic mass. It's more moldable. I've read studies on cannabis use and all that. Any substance that alters your behavior, especially if you start young, can lead to all kinds of outcomes. But let's be clear, smoking weed young does damage you. Your body gets wrecked, even if you think cannabis is a harmless plant. These days, dealers sprinkle crushed glass on buds to make it scratch better so you think it's higher quality. They even dump fertilizers that mutate the genetics of the yo. Power dart top choose. The recommendation? Don't smoke weed young. If you're gonna do it, check your country's law's minimum age, legal possession limits, permits for personal or business growing. Heads up, we ain't encouraging anyone to break laws where you live. We're talking responsible use, all within your country's regulations. This ain't a critique. We're just laying out the raw facts. Now, please, continue. Brother.
No, don't worry, bro. I understand, and it's okay to make all these statements because, yeah, effectively, with every hit I took from that weed, the motor, I felt how it was affecting my short-term memory, and yeah, it's true. Studies show that. It's also true that when you stop consuming for a while, these effects disappear. It's like while you're consuming the plant, it creates like a mental fog. Obviously, you shouldn't drive under the influence of this substance or any other, because there's slowness, there's a delay in motor reaction. Look, after that shit with this asshole's betrayal, I told the whole gang, this guy is an asshole. He betrayed us. Everyone thought the same. That fucking asshole, fuck his mother, and this coward didn't show up for several days, even weeks. Well, that guy was already a fossil. A fossil is what you call people who have been in high school for many years and can't get out because they have failed many subjects. Obviously several of those who hung out there on the skateboards were in the same situation. And But I always felt that this asshole wasn't going to school because he was afraid to face his betrayal. But then he did show up, and even though we called him out, he played dumb and made excuses. I think no one in the gang ever saw him the same way again. Check it out. When I was about to leave high school, when I was going to enter university, I didn't know what to study. I wanted to take a gap year to think, decide what career to take, but my mum didn't allow me. She told me I had to choose a career, and I chose architecture just because I liked to draw. This was a really stupid mistake, but I had to go through it. I had to walk that path. My high school had a direct pass to the university. I couldn't waste it. It turns out that with all the guys I hung out with, none of them graduated from high school that year. And of course, they were jealous as hell. Obviously, when I entered university, I stopped going to high school. Then I returned and saw their fucking attitude. They asked me, "How is it possible that you graduated from high school? If you also hung out with us, we didn't go to classes." Damn, or rather I felt their fucking envy so bad. And I said, "Fuck your mother." But well, fuck it. But well, straight up, I did pass with at least 6. It's true, bro. I mean, I was going to stay another year for 2 subjects, bro. One was health sciences or something like that, which I never liked health areas, and the other subject was statistics. I never liked statistics. I do like math. Calculus, I mean, at that time, I didn't take calculus because I was scared. But I was good at algebra. I was good at trigonometry and all that stuff. Geometry, but well, to cut it short, I was going to stay for those 2 subjects. The truth is that I passed that extraordinary health sciences exam on the 2nd round of extraordinaries, bro. And the truth is, I went to beg the teacher. I said, "What's up? The truth is that it's not the only subject I have to pass, teacher." She said, "No, because you don't even get a 6. She said, I said, "What can I do? Either way, I can't stay for one subject, teacher," I said to her. She said, "Do something, man." She said, "Okay, I'll give you a 6. And she says, "Get out before I regret it." And I went to fuck. And the other subject, statistics, I passed it, taking a course every Saturday. In those Saturday courses, there were also the envious ones, but they owed a lot of subjects, and they couldn't pay for them in those Saturday courses. I mean, from Monday to Friday, you had to go, and on Saturdays too. They would be some bitches, and well, imagine in one semester maximum, you could get out 6, 8 subjects, and those envious assholes owed many more. They weren't going to get them out in one semester because there is only one entry to the university every year. So for sure, you have to wait a year. And either way, you're fucked. Ha ha. But well, then I enter here to the university. Well, for me, it was like a really fucked up world. My sister one day before took me to show me the facilities and all that, because my sister was also in the faculty of architecture. She is an architect. Well, damn, the truth is that I never found myself in that career. I mean, I was there for 3.5 years of my life, and the truth is those 3.5 years of my life I spent smoking weed, chatting with the gang, and I had more friends or acquaintances or classmates outside of all the other careers of the university. I knew more people from other faculties than from architecture. From the career, I said, "This shit is not for me." I realized this shit was not for me. Damn, I fell in with a bunch of people from the neighborhood, and I get to a fucking public university. But well, that is in a fucking posh area of the city, and pure little fucker who brings the potato in his snout, who speaks so posh, who drive brand new cars that their daddy buys them, all that shit pissed me off, and I didn't find myself among those assholes. I said, "Fuck your mother. Fuck it. I'm not going to go into these fucking classes." If I did go to classes, but, well, you know, all fucked up on drugs, and also I didn't like it. I also went to classes without consuming anything, nothing at all. But I never felt good there. I never got along with those little posh kids who had everything handed to them and who hadn't struggled for anything, who hadn't hustled in life. So basically, I spent about 3.5 years in the mess, but in the midst of that mess, my mom discovers that I smoked marijuana. You know, she knew for a long time already, she suspected. But well, one day she catches my stuff in my backpack, no. And it's because my mom always liked to check my backpack, my stuff, while I went into the bathroom just coming from the street, so she sentences me, and my dad told me, "We don't want you to smoke weed here. Nobody gave you that example," and blah, blah, blah. She read me the riot act and tells me, "You have one. Either you go to therapy with psychologists and psychiatrists, and they apply drug tests on you every week to see if you keep consuming, or if not, every month, or you accept all the above, or you go to hell on the street." So imagine, I was between 18 or 19 years old. They had taken me, I think, to some AA meetings, and well, they told me there, save yourself 10 to 15 years of suffering, save yourself jail, save yourself a hospital, save yourself an insane asylum and all that. When I went there, I never disrespected anyone, nor the program, nor did I ever think that some things wouldn't happen to me. There is only over there, someone I smoked weed with said that when you consume drugs, you're with the demons. So then I started going to the fucking meetings and therapies with the psychologist, psychiatrist. He started giving me medications, and well, to be quite honest, the pills they gave me, well, I would take them to school. I wouldn't take them. I would grind them and sprinkle them on top of the marijuana and smoke them like a primo. A primo is a marijuana cigarette laced with cocaine powder. Supposedly, so the hit would admit, would be stronger, no? But well, bullshit. What I didn't like about those fucking pills is that they make you gain a lot of weight because they turn you into like a robot that doesn't feel anything, that you're just drowsy, like without emotions, and you just want to be lying down all day. No, they did a drug test on me a month after starting therapies, and I cheated that drug test. I put bleach in the urine, stirred it well, and when the doctor put the reagents in, the strip that comes with cannabis, cocaine, methamphetamines, amphetamines, that barbiturates, and I don't know what other things, it came out negative. Ha ha ha. I couldn't believe it because I had gotten really high the day before that trick. I'm going to tell you how I executed it. The truth is, I filled a dropper from a 30-man dropper bottle. It's the one I put in my boxer. And that day when I was going to pee quickly, without him seeing, well, this time it was my dad, I squeezed the dropper, and on top of that I peed. And then with my finger I mixed everything, and then I told you that it came out negative when the doctor put the test strip, and she even congratulated me. She said, "Oh, good that you haven't consumed. The program is working," and pure bullshit. Well, my dad also kind of felt relieved, and with that I shut my mom up for a while so she wouldn't be sucking dick, because what I can tell you is that an alcoholic, a drug addict, is always the scapegoat of the family. In that scapegoat, all the family's guilt, all the family's shame is poured. Everything bad goes to the scapegoat, and if the scapegoat keeps consuming and keeps depending on the family, that never ends, the family needs a trash can, a black sheep. And to me, since I was a kid, they saw that I was the black sheep because I was always rebellious, because I never obeyed authority. Today, the only authority I obey is God's, because he has saved me several times from things and events that I will tell you about later. I don't want one. To get ahead, I was already tired of this dynamic because my mom treated me like a little kid. She would buy me a cell phone when she was in a good mood, but she would take it away when she got angry or when I came home smelling like marijuana, and I knew that was really bad. It was really bad that I kept putting up with that situation. It should be said that since I was a kid, I always wanted to leave home and more because of that kind of passive-aggressive attitudes that my mom always had. She still has. That's why I've distanced myself from her. I don't hate her or anything like that, but she's not a good woman. I recognize that. Because of her discipline, we are what we are. But it doesn't justify all the harm she did. So I keep consuming one of the envious compa who had a shillion air note I told that. Did it all the time and I just stayed in high school another year. Well, one day he wanted to make me feel bad. He wanted to start singing things that he had invited me to eat, that he had come to see me there when I was in this mess, and this guy was an alcoholic, but he was more like the frustrated kid who wanted to take out all his frustration on me. So I told him, you know what, bro? The truth is, I'm not to blame for your shit. If you stayed another year in high school, it's because you're stupid. Because even though I was messing around, I did have the balls to get out of being a slacker, or begging, no. But I got out. Bro, not like you. Your dad is an accountant, and you're worth shit. The above I mentioned because when you start to stand out over others, you realize who really always envied you. And another compa, also the one I was caught with the first time, and also supposedly he became a Christian and pure bullshit. One day he invited me to his fucking church, which was around where I lived, and I told him, stop fucking around, dude. The truth is, I'm not coming here just to see what ass you're going to fuck from here. And he replied, no, it's not true. You're wrong. Like 6 months later, I saw that he was with a chick from there. I said, there he is, fucker. Not that you had already changed, that you weren't getting high anymore, because that guy also smoked weed, but he liked to get high more by sniffing a substance called active or PVC, which is a drain opener, also sniffing a rag soaked in thinner. He would have some fucked up hallucinations, they're really crazy, and with the devil and pure bullshit, that guy had already reached the point of staying to get high in his car, and not even going home, but well anyway. So the inevitable happens. One day, my mom catches me that I'm still smoking weed and, well, telling me that I was dishonest, that I was a traitor to the family and pure bullshit. And the truth is, I don't want you to be here anymore. I want you to get out of the courthouse, just like that really fucked up. The fucking bitch told me, and well, fuck your mother and well. The truth is, I had nowhere to go at that moment while I was 18 years old. And well, the truth is that I had never been alone on the street. I mean, staying on the street, hanging out with the gang. And there, the truth is that, no, check it out right now, that I am telling you I still remember, and I even feel that fear, that desolation, that loneliness, that feeling of being misunderstood. I mean, damn, they already kicked me out to the fucking street. And now, what am I going to do? What am I going to eat? Where am I going to sleep? Right now, because they kicked me out. It was like 6 or 7 at night, and I was like, don't fuck me over. And even though I begged, I humiliated myself, and still they sent me to fuck off. Both, I mean my dad and my mom. Because you know that mom always leads dad by the pussy. No. And the pussy is impossible for your dad to leave. Your dad will always choose his pussy over everything, no? So the truth is, what I did was go ask for asylum at my uncle's house. These uncles were the parents of my cousin, the one I had told you about from middle school, who was a mess, who was the most annoying of all. Why did I do that? Because I had no one else to turn to. And the truth is that I knew that on the street I was not going to survive, and I was not willing to endure the cold of the street, no. Because my dad told me stay under a car. Go get in a car, something like that. I mean, they wanted me to hit rock bottom. But in a very fucked up way. No, but at the same time, as if getting rid of me, they still think to this day, I think it could have been done in a better way. But well, I don't hold a grudge against them, so I go with my uncle's bro. I arrive with this one, and I greet him, with 2 big black bags that I filled with clothes, and I took it with me, supposedly because I was going to keep studying, and pure bullshit, supposedly because I was going to keep studying, and pure bullshit, as if my mom wanted me to keep studying that career, to keep controlling me, because women, most are bitches. Women are shit, things have to be said as a. They are your mother, grandmother, daughter, sister, aunts, most are bitches. Bitches are manipulative, blaming you or making you feel guilty. If they can't with either of those two, they grab you. If they are your providers of money, well, you're fucked, mother. Also, I found good women. My cousin's mother was one of those. The point is that I told my cousin, look, you know what the fucking picture is. They sent me to fuck off from my house. I have nowhere to stay. The truth is, because I smoke weed, my parents exaggerate a lot, and well, what's up? And he already sees me and tells me. Let me talk to my parents, and he already goes and talks to my uncles, you can say, and they already come down and they already tell me, no, well, let's talk, and we already sit down in the living room. But check it out for all that. When they kicked me out of the house, I had no money, so I went and asked for a 50-unit bill from the mechanic who lives across the street from our house. No, and yes, like he understood that there was a problem and that I had no money, and yes, he lent it to me. And without any problems that I was there, and I told him, no, well, when I see you again, I'll pay you. He already told me, no, there's no problem then. It was with that money with the only one that I carried, with the money that I arrived at my uncle's house. Then my uncles tell me, look, if you can stay here, but you can't arrive at the hour you want. Here there is a curfew. You can't arrive drunk or drugged. Why did you leave your parents' house? I told my cousin, tell her that I left because we had problems, and the truth is, because that's what I told my cousin. Tell them that I left because, we had problems, and the truth, because that's what I told my cousin. Don't tell them anything about the marijuana consumption. No. And he already told me, no, I told them that you left because you had problems with your parents, and they didn't tell me anything. They commented, well, that's fine, you're going to go to the university still, no? I told them, no, yes, or rather I told them, yes, and I mean my uncles, am I going to let you stay in a room upstairs on the roof? And the truth is, I have always been very grateful to those uncles to this day. They still live, and the truth is, they were always very loving with me. Check it out that I felt that my aunt was the mother I never had known. She was a woman dedicated to her home. She took care of her children. She cooked very well for them, and in them I found solace that I never had with my mom. My mom was always a cold woman, distant. She was always angry. I felt like she hated taking care of her children, serving us food. And for that there is something that I hadn't told you. My mom used to take food from our plate to give it to my half-brother. She used to prepare cheap things for us to eat, to save money from the allowance that my dad gave her, and she would take the best food to the piece of shit of her son. With this one of my half-brother, it was always a fucked up past. It still is a fucked up past. The day I see him, I think I'm going to blow his fucking head off. Straight up. I don't give a fuck, because he has always been a fucked up past, and I think he deserves to stay still. But so he doesn't send him to the other side. My dad rarely took me to hit when he used to hit me. What is? Because if I drove him crazy, my mom, when I told you that she used to hit me, and like that occasionally, no more my mom was more like passive violence than my dad. My dad, he would already arrive very tired from work, and how my dad really didn't have a well-formed family. He lived with a stepfather, and really, my dad is like an abandoned child, an absent father. Although he lives or doesn't live with you, he is always going to generate that same syndrome in his children, no? And although, for example, in this case, my dad, if he was with us, really, he always generated that feeling to me and to my sister of abandonment. Today, my sister is an alcoholic. I am a drug addict. I am an alcoholic and drug addict because I say that I am an alcoholic, because when I have drunk, I also think about what I don't like the taste. It pisses me off, dude. I don't like the smell, nor anything, nor the motherfuckers. But if you have to get fucked up, and if there is nothing else, you grab it. But the truth is that no, or rather, if right now you take me there somewhere, and you put me to choose, the truth is now, yes, I prefer not to drink, no. So really, how my mother, nothing more, pays attention to school in that aspect, and the rest, it doesn't matter. And my dad, well, it didn't matter more than giving money, yes. But my dad also fucked other bitches outside. And there you see, I told you that he was fucking the maid and my mom when my mom had her accident and all that shit. No, then this also, what I didn't tell you, is that also as a kid, I had several times that I was about to die, and moreover, until today that I am telling this, well, obviously that I am still alive. But I, as a kid, was about to drown in a type of swamp. They were like frozen and muddy lakes. Look, those who already caught my role and realized the words I'm using, you already know what country I am from, where I live, and all that role. So there's no need to give a signal or anything, nor to say anything specific that I was there about to drown. Then the lifeguard came to save me, but imagine when I was in the water, or rather I saw how the water came up to the middle of my eyes. But I didn't feel fear, or rather I feel that since then I didn't feel the fear of dying. I always asked my mom what happens afterwards when you die. And she told me, I don't know. Nobody has returned, no. So I always wanted to find out today. I still want to find out. But with the anxiety, always wanting to prevent the damage that the environment or others can cause me. And it is something that nobody can control, because nobody can control the environment. What you can control is not being or exposing yourself, or being available where you shouldn't be at the hour. You shouldn't be. Or rather, it is as if, say right now I am well in my house. Really, I don't have a need to go out if it is already 6 or 7 at night, and less going out more at night and less going out at dawn. Well, right now as the situation is in the whole world, well, quickly by this and the other, and well, I don't know. Go out only in the morning, or at noon, or in the early afternoon. And they recommend you to return early afternoon, and they recommend you to return early, because right now unleashed all the fucking evil. No, but well, look, I'm not like that religious to go to church. My dad would take us sometimes, but like he would threaten us to go to church if we behaved badly, Joe, and my sister and I would say, fuck. No, you go to hell, that was bullshit. No, then, what I do believe is in God, because I tell you that time a park ranger came and took me out the water dude. They already gave me clothes, and the lady, the mother of my classmate, and my classmate, if you're listening to this podcast. The truth is, I send you a greeting, and thank you very much. Now you already know who you are. That girl I always liked. But I never dared to tell her anything, Joshua, you know. From there they took the teacher like some fucking judicials. They're like in a suit. They look like some fucking movie. Or rather, I was already taking them out of the fucking swamp there, because then they told me, because my dad then wanted me to like overcome the fear. No, but, well, at that moment, yes, I was putting a lot of attention. My sister was in the middle of us, supposedly separating us. But, well, the truth is that my sister never supported me. Or rather, my sister is very treacherous. What could you expect from an alcoholic who fucks with any dude she finds at a party? Who fucks in the cars? Or rather, an authentic street woman with a career. Joshua, but well, I think they are always like that. That for me was a low blow, and from there I knew that she doesn't know how to lend a hand. I'm going to tell you that I also hit rock bottom in a way. All the money they gave me at my uncle's house, I saved it and used it to buy weed. Food and water were the last thing, for that I always took food from their house. One day I ran out of money to buy a subway ticket and return to my uncle's house, and the truth is, I had to humiliate myself. I went to ask for money where the turnstiles are that allow access or exit from the subway. I think 2 people gave me money to buy my subway ticket. That, for me, was another low blow because I had never resorted to begging. I already knew that I was falling lower and lower by centering or basing my whole life around consumption. But well, the bomb exploded at my uncle's house one Friday, whatever, where everyone is getting ready to rest for the weekend. But not me. I was tough, and I had to face everything head on. The thing is that one day bro from the university in quotes Jaja, and I see that my aunt is talking to a woman who was the voice of my mum on the phone entering the living room. I realized that shit and I said, fuck it. And I said, bitch your mother. And my aunt saw me like normal calm, and I already went up, dude. But all the fucking light of the house was like that very dim. And I said, get ready until I said, fuck it. I'm going to start packing my things because it's going to be the second house they're going to kick me out of. And thinking who I'm going to ask for a favor. And no. Damn, dude, it's really fucked up, dude. The truth is, I don't hate my parents, nor do I judge them, nor am I resentful towards them. But all that they did, and I did, all that puzzle that at that moment I was putting together, and I'm still putting together today, that puzzle helped me to stop being the scapegoat of the family. Now afterwards, when you're doing well, they want to see you as a fool, and ask for money, especially my mother, and my half-brother afterwards tried to manipulate me. But well, I already sent them all to fuck off, and they could never and can't fuck with me. Not even shot until now, nobody has wanted to mess with me. So, well, I go up, dude, to my cousin's room, and he tells me, what's up, dude? The truth is, my mom is talking to your mom, dude. What's up? And I tell him, yes, it's fucked up. And I tell him, no, damn. Do you think your parents are also going to kick me out of their house? And he told me, well, the hell. No, dude, because, well, you see, I told them that you came here because, well, you fight with your parents, but not because you fought or because they kicked you out, really. My cousin told me, okay, dude, this chill, dude, and we would already approaching the stairs that went down to the ground floor, but without them seeing us from the ground floor and listening to all the shit. No, but my aunt didn't say much, like that fucked up. And here, no, she didn't talk much because like my aunt also kind of wanted to cushion the shit. I felt it, or rather the truth is, dude, it's that my aunt, dude, was always cool with me, bro. For real, I still respect all of them for real, because they have another religion. They don't eat meat, dude. They meditate, dude. To me, it helped me a lot. At 3 or 4 in the morning when you go down to the bathroom. They were meditating. And the truth is, well, or rather, nobody is perfect. But the truth is that these people helped me a lot. If it weren't for them, I would have been on the street, and it is something. That I say, damn, maybe my dad didn't have to be so drastic. But well, I also, the last time I was getting very rebellious, dude, because I didn't like them telling me what to do anymore, you know, when you're depressed and you're consuming, dude. The truth is, then you don't even bathe, dude. Goes up to a month or more without bathing, no? Although the shower is there, sometimes there was no shower. You have to bathe with bucket hits, but then, well, you already know since I was a kid, I always felt worthy. And like that, I said, no, I don't like to bathe like that with bucket hits. So better I don't. Bathe in pure bullshit to be dirty, depressed to be causing pity, no. So for that, when I tell you, I think that my parents were very hard, but also getting out in this chat and with other people that I chatted this shit I myself remember, dude. He said, well, it's that you also did a lot of things, dude, that you pissed them off. And always saw you as the scapegoat. Well, since I was a kid, I was the youngest of all. So, well, my aunt already stops talking to my mom, dude. My cousin said, let me go down to see. Let me measure the frame test, the terrain, to see how my mom is. Don't I say, well, dude, inside me, well, I was already with my ass in my hand, no. And also with my little bags of clothes, thinking about filling them with my clothes. Well, I had already said no. Well, I better start packing my bags, dude, because they are going to send me to fuck off, dude. Because, well, in that family, no, or rather my uncle had been an alcoholic. And then now in the present. Yes, he drinks, but, well, each one their own shit, but, well, he is aware of his family within what fits, as I say. Nobody is perfect. But, well, it's not up to me to judge anyone, no, to not make it long for you. Well, we already go down this one. Already after my cousin went up, he told me, no, well, everything calm. We are going to go down, and we already, if my mom tells you something, because to me she didn't tell me anything more than what she was talking about with your mom. Well, we already go down there to fuck off, and at that moment act like a fool now. And I think the truth is I don't remember very well what I told my aunt, but I let her understand like that. No, well, you already know the truth now. You already know that I lied to you, and we already tell me something like that happened, son. I already talked to your mom, and she hugs me now, and I already started crying, and then my cousin was already there, like laughing, and like cushioning the shit. No, but at that moment he didn't talk to me in front of my cousin. Then she already told me later, she told me, let's see, we are going to go up there to the room where I was staying, and up to the roof, and she already told me, no, well, your mom already told me, what's up? That here and I told her, no, well, the truth is forgive me, for not having told you the truth, and my aunt already told me, no, well. I understand that you have an addiction, and that, well, you need to be consuming during the day every so often. I have known people who, well, also, like you, have addictions, and well understand that they can't leave them, so that understanding dude that my aunt gave me, dude, was something that from mom I didn't have, dude, or rather my mother was a very masculine woman. In the house they were like two masculine energies in the house, dude, so imagine, well, that's why I became very violent and very tense, and very up to a certain point, or I flee, or I attack. No, so where was I going to get sanity from then? Well, she already hugged me, and told me, no, well, this we are going to help you in what we can. But, well, you need to also try to stop consuming. And already? My aunt made me bag flowers, but I wanted to keep smoking weed. I think that at that time I stopped going to school because, no, well, why am I going? Or no, I didn't keep going so with them. I went to several meditations retreats, and I realized how my uncle beat me running, and that guy was more than 60 years old at that time. That already has almost 14 years since that happened, and my uncles are still alive. They are vegetarians and have a religion like Buddhist and supposedly no. Supposedly they sent me a letter to start me on their spiritual path because they didn't call it religion. They called it a path of knowledge or enlightenment or something like that. They say there are many paths that lead you to God. No, and the truth is, I feel that they were in my life for that, no, because imagine if I hadn't found out in the 3rd year of high school that he was my cousin. If it hadn't been like that, well, imagine in that 1st year of university, well, I would have fallen on the street because I had no one else to go to. The other was, well, to fall on the street, dude. I had no more acquaintances, and apart from that, it gave me shame, dude, if you arrive like homeless, not with one hand in front and another behind. It's fucked up, dude. It's fucked up because you see it as humiliation, dude. But well, already results that they schedule a meeting with my parents. They already come, and supposedly we talk, and that we are already going to be calm, but that with the condition that I never smoke weed again, neither outside nor there in the house, and that I am going to go to therapy and label the same commitments. But well, you already know my mum controlling everything, no, or rather, I feel that women are satisfied more controlling another person, whether man or woman, than having an orgasm, as if they savor that shit and destroy you little by little, doom. No, well, not all are like that. They suppose it like that half of men are assholes. Half of men are good, half of women are assholes. Half of women are good 50, and 50 they're for nobody to be fighting fuck. That's how we are, because that is the world. Well, I'm not religious, but what I have learned up to now in my life, and in all the years that I have lived, and everything that I am missing to tell you, dude, is that the truth is the world, dude, is black and white, but it is also a scale of grays, dude goes. And we are all a scale of grey. Just that the trick is that although you have suffered a lot, you don't have, and you shouldn't be an asshole with others. Don't keep spreading that grey to others, dude, so don't be half-assed either, nor being half-assed or being half-good, nor giving everything to others. nor killing anyone either, no. Nor putting yourself as a doormat, but always go for yourself first, dude, because right now those are the times everyone has to know how to stand up for themselves. You can't save your family. You can't save anyone else. Calm down, calm down. You stand up for yourself. But always to the fuck up, always to the fuck you have to go to the fuck. So well, dude, I returned with my parents, dude. I kept going to architecture, bro. Repeating years. I don't even remember. It was a fucking mess that I didn't like. And this. But well, I soon got tired. And then I kept smoking weed. No, dude, for real. Why am I going to tell you that no? If it's what my heart, my soul calls me, smoke weed, I'm not going to tell you that you go and get high and that smoke weed, no, dude. I'm telling you what I felt, what I feel, and what I think that I'm always going to feel, dude. It's like that I feel that marijuana and I are one, dude. If I have gotten into trouble, I'll see you in the Jawad cell. Because when I have smoked on the street, dude, when I'm rebellious, that's what you provoke. You can't force society to accept the consumption of marijuana by smoking publicly, nor am I saying that you cultivate it in your house, dude, or that you move drugs, or that you go around armed, or that you do stupid things for the plant. No, dude. But well, no, I don't want to go further. Dude, I return with mine. Parents, dude, and I start getting high again after a short time. I think that if we went to therapies, but well, I didn't give a fuck anymore. And well, in one of those, my parents catch me again, dude. One of those many times they caught me, dude, when I was supposedly taking advantage of the other opportunity, because they always put you on like they're shutting you up, saying, I'm fine, you're bad, I'm the mom and I'm the dad, and you shut up and you're worth shit, and I just wanted to have my own money, and that way send them both to fuck off. But there was still a long way to go for that, and my sister was also a pain in the ass, always complaining, always in a bad mood. Or rather, my fucking family is a fucking family like the one from the series Malcolm in the Middle. Don't tell me I was the genius. No, dude, if I am intelligent, dude, I am skillful, bro. But I'm telling you that context. The psychiatrists say that in that series, well, the lady is a fucking schizophrenic, dude, and really, yes, dude, so. Imagine my mom behaving like that. My dad always submitted by the pussy. It is a man without balls, he always was. But well, now it's worth shit. No. Then they catch me, and you know what, dude, it's worth shit again. You take it from two soups again, or rather you already know those fucking talks of 2 or 3 hours in the fucking armchair, in the fucking living room. Dude, sitting, and that you are. Already tired of how your parents shit on you, and you say, damn already, stop repeating the same thing to me. They told me you have two. One, you already know it, as if in the annex that I was going to live afterwards, no. But at that moment, what's up, dude? You already know it, those fucking talks where they already tell you if you want to keep consuming, you can do it. But it's going to be on the street, dude, and now, yes, if you go with your uncles, well, who knows if they accept you again, dude. Try your luck, dude. If they don't accept you, well, you can't come back here. So my parents died. Were very ruthless, dude. And the 2 children of their fucking mother, dude. They were like 2 fucking dogs that cornered me, dude. And I told them, no damn. But if I'm not doing so bad in school, dude, I'm delivering the jobs and projects of architecture. You see well that I am doing it. What does it matter if I smoke weed, dude? They relaxed, no. And they told me, here, nobody has given you that example. And fuck your mother. And you don't answer back to my mom, because my mom didn't hit me anymore. Because one day I grabbed her hands and told her I'm not a little kid anymore. Don't hit me anymore. Never hit my mom or my dad, that I clarify for you. But yes, one day before my mom wanted to hit me, I grabbed her hands. I told her, look, Mom, I'm already big. You can't be hitting me anymore. She just looked at me like that with a fucking anger in her eyes, like a snake. My mother was always a snake, but every snake has its time. But well, I returned to this shit. They told me that one that is an option is that you go, and the other option that you have, well, it is that You go to a treatment clinic. Before that, they offered me the option of a treatment clinic. In the time since I returned from my uncle's house with my parents, and that supposedly it was the second opportunity. All that time, dude, we were going to family therapy. But the fucking psychologist always blamed me for everything, dude. Bitch, you're fucking bitch. Bitch. Motherfucker. Dirty mother. If you are listening to this, you are going to fuck all your fucking mother, cholera, because you always went too far with it. The addicts and alcoholics who came to your hands. For me, that bitch must be well dead, dude, because a lot of time has passed. She was already somewhat elderly. She was shit with me, dude. She always told me, you are to blame for everything for being an addict, and you're worth shit, and stuff like that. Only 1 or 2 times did she call my mom or dad's attention. My sister went to make a fool of herself. She was there with her boyfriend, but he didn't enter, so they were nagging and nagging at me. I mean, I was really cornered from all sides, subjected from all sides. I was about to explode, dude, until in the final consultation, in the final battle, like in a video game where you fight the final boss of each level, well, I rebelled. I stood up and left. I told her, no, it's just that you blame me for everything, psychologist. No other member of my family is ever at fault for anything. And if what is true is that the damn old lady wanted to bring me and to bring me, mold me with pure chiseling, but the truth is she always fucked up. And one day she told me, no, it's just that you are a little box of trinkets. But she was so shitty and so sarcastic. So I couldn't take it anymore and I left, dude. And then my dad told me to get back into the meeting and I didn't want to. I wanted to go fuck off, no? So then all that was reminded to me at that moment by my parents, when they were kicking me out of the house for the second time, they read me the riot act. They told me, we have been to therapy for a long time and, well, you don't want to go anymore. And I said, well, it's because that psychologist blames me for everything, dude. That fucking disgusting bitch. They told me, dude, it's just that, damn, it's the truth in the end you're never going to see. That we allow you to consume drugs or substances here. We're never going to let you smoke weed here in the house in our presence. Ha 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 ha. Today, I laugh about it. Because, look, dude, I make a parenthesis. Here, my parents swore and perjured that they would never let me smoke weed in the house or in front of them. Something that today, dude, I smoke weed in front of them, dude, and they can't say. Shit, dude, I mean, I've smoked weed with my dad, dude. We've consumed weed gummies, pills with shrooms, with my mom too, dude. I mean, even with my sister. Dude, and my sister. Well, she's a teacher, dude, in a fucking high school where they sell drugs, dude. I mean, they're all a bunch of hypocrites, dude. If you understand me, but as of now, dude, I'm independent. And fuck it, dude, they already realize it. If not, well, now, yes, indeed, dude, they can't blame it. That dude was never at fault for anything. Well, bitch or asshole or bitch dog or bitch dogs, you all were always a bunch of assholes, dude. But, well, always a bunch of assholes. That negative energy that everyone puts into despising the black sheep. Well, everyone in me, dude, for real, that helped me take off, bro. But obviously at that moment, I didn't see it, dude, as a song by El Macabelico says, and that the power of problems comes dressed. Everything looked good, everything perfect, and bam. Ha ha ha, and yes, dude, that's what I felt, that everything was set up for me to end up in a rehab clinic, because that was the only option I had, or that my family offered me, so that I would now, yes, rehabilitate, and could return home and keep supporting me in university. And you know all that shit, not like damn fuck your mother, dude, like accepting being locked up. No, like how long am I going to be locked up? I said, no, it's 3 months. I already investigated and I saw that it's a good place. It's not an annex. It's not a house. They don't beat you. They don't tie you up. And no, in that clinic, They had psychologists, and it wasn't clinics for those famous clinics, those expensive clinics where a lot of money is spent. Fuck it, no, but I already didn't want to go around looking for where to stay. Dude, no. I already knew that my uncles, well, maybe they wouldn't accept me anymore, dude, because in that call, and when my aunt talked to my mom, and my aunt told me afterwards that my mom wanted to let me fall very quickly. Bro, supposedly for her, that was a solution for me, and today I understand that my mom, they raped her brothers, dude, because there are vestiges of that shit, no? There was an uncle who got very jealous that my mom had boyfriends. Need you right, chase stained mate. Partners, despite the fact that mom was already a single mother. All that hatred towards men, my mother poured it on me. I don't say that only on me, but I did get a lot of her darkness. Well, and also, dude, it was also with me, dude, because my brother, well, my half-brother, always skipped classes. That guy never understood. That guy is a loser to this day. He is a prefect of a secondary, dude, and that job also, my mom got it for him, bro. Or rather, that guy is so lazy that they have to look for a job for him. So that guy works to penetrate underage women. Then that guy was born to lose, no. For real, bro. And he is a leech. Right now he wants to scam also my sister, pure bullshit, dude. But at that moment, dude, I said, well, fuck it. I'm going to have to accept the rehab clinic, bro. And yes, dude, I accepted it, bro, and well, fuck it. As I tell you, no, I don't brag, dude, in the first time, my first confinement. But under those conditions with fucked up people, bad shit. But what I can tell you, dude, is that it was the worst place where I had been, dude. Because, well, damn, dude. Or rather, I was already a posh kid whose parents give you everything and nothing more. You go around stretching out your hand and, well, they're no, dude. What I can tell you, dude, is that it was fucked up what I lived there, dude. I know there are people who have suffered more, much more than me. But there, dude, in that rehab clinic, dude, there were a lot of interns who had already been in jail, dude. Well, you can already imagine what kind of person you were with no. I tell you, in the annexes, there are also people who have already been in jail, no, and look, in those places you find a lot of police, a lot of military, dude, drugs and crime together, and fuck it, no. The truth is that it was really fucked up. Bro, no. Or rather fucked up, and I refer to the quality of the people who were inside. Well, no, but well also. No, I don't want to get ahead because I haven't even told you how I got there or anything. Oh, well, I also wanted to explain myself in detail, and I elaborated in this time, bro. Because, well, as the chat comes out, dude, and I remember important things that I had to tell, I also have memories. That as a kid they abused me, bro. But for real, I think that was very much as a kid, that I don't remember anymore. I only remember that one place, like very dark, dude, like some fucking little houses. Dude of social interest, and as my dad went to pay the rent there, bro, my dad worked for a time in the taxi before he had 2 trucks of his own, dude. Then the truth is, I feel that something happened. Bro, but my mind like blocks that shit, dude, or I don't know, bro. I also don't want to imagine things. Well, the only thing I tell you is that I have certain memories like from 3 years until what? I'm telling you that I had for then, before entering the rehab clinic. I was 18 years old, dude, but I tell you, I elaborated more now, dude, because important things came out on the fly. That the truth, I didn't remember, dude. But for me, the whole movie has to do. Everything has a why. Each detail of what we live in our life goes preparing us. It is like doing a master's degree in life itself, dude. It goes giving you little by little what you are needing. It goes telling you what you have to do. But you have to listen to the signals, dude. Now I already tell you like that, dude. But no. In then, well, no, damn, I feel that it is going to be fucked up at any moment, dude, for real, dude. That rehab clinic for me was something that marked me. The person who entered there was not the same one who came out.